Hello and welcome. Today, from the morning letter written barefoot, we're diving into a really fascinating question. Could barefoot walking actually be a new hope for diabetes? It sounds almost too simple to be true, but the ideas we're about to explore might just change your mind.
So let's start with a number. 5.1 million, that is the number of people who die every single year globally from diabetes. It's a staggering crisis. But what if a huge piece of the solution has been right under our feet, literally this whole time?
And that brings us to this really powerful idea from cardiologist Dr. Stephen Sinatra. He was convinced that we've overlooked something huge. You see, as all these chronic diseases have been on the rise, we as a species have become more and more disconnected from the Earth's natural electrical energy.
So you have to ask, right? Is that just a coincidence, or is there a real correlation going on here? Well, let's take a look at a chart that paints a pretty compelling picture.
Okay, take a look at this. This graph is wild. That yellow line shows the meteoric rise of synthetic, non-conductive shoes, think rubber and plastic soles, since the 1950s. And that red line, climbing almost in perfect sync with it, that's the rate of type 2 diabetes. The idea here is that by insulating ourselves with these shoes, we've fallen into a state of what's being called electron deficiency. So, if the problem is that we're disconnected, the solution is beautifully simple: barefoot walking. It's also known as earthing. It's just a simple act of reconnecting our bodies to the Earth's surface. When we do this, our body can absorb the Earth's seemingly endless supply of free electrons, which are basically nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory.
And here's how it's thought to work. Think of the Earth as a giant battery, just teeming with these free electrons. The moment your bare skin touches the ground, your body can start absorbing them. These electrons then get to work inside you, creating electrical balance and neutralizing these nasty things called free radicals, which are a key cause of the chronic inflammation behind so many of our modern diseases.
So how does this translate into healing inside our bodies? Well, it seems to break down into four main pillars. First, getting that electrical nutrition. Second, reducing chronic inflammation. Third, calming the nervous system. And fourth, and this is the big one for today, regulating glucose.
This slide really puts it all into perspective. On the left, you've got the disconnected body. It's starved of electrons, it's inflamed, it's stuck in stress mode, and that can lead to insulin resistance and poor glucose control. But look at the right side. The connected body is charged up with electrons. Inflammation goes down, the nervous system shifts from fight or flight to rest and digest, and crucially, insulin can work more efficiently and glucose levels can start to normalize.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds amazing, almost too good to be true. So what's the proof? Let's get into the science and some truly powerful personal stories. Let's start with a really important Polish study by two doctors, Karl and Paweł Sokol. Over decades, they observed that simply walking barefoot could lower blood glucose in hundreds of their patients. It was so effective that some were actually able to reduce or even completely stop their insulin and metformin. And get this, in their experiments, just 2 to 3 days of being grounded was enough to see a significant drop in glucose levels. That's fast. And the real-world stories are just as compelling. Take Go Myungja, for example. At 72 years old, she reported that after just 72 days of dedicated barefoot walking, her diabetes, high blood pressure, and even acid reflux had healed. Then there's the story of Hwang Sunja. She committed to walking 20,000 steps barefoot every single day. And the results? Improvements not just with her diabetes, but also with high blood pressure, cholesterol, and even osteoporosis. She calls it an exciting new life gifted to her by the Earth. And if you want to talk about long-term prevention, look at Kim Chen-soo. For 20 years, he has traversed a mountain range barefoot. And now, at 72, he reports living a healthy, youthful life completely free from disease. These stories are just incredible. Okay, so you might be feeling a little inspired right now, thinking, I want to try this. So let's talk about how you can start your own barefoot walking journey, but do it safely and effectively.
All right, a few key things to remember. First, common sense. Always look where you're going. Walk in safe, clean areas. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, please make sure your tetanus vaccination is up to date. That's a non-negotiable for prevention. Third, remember that consistency is key. The real healing power comes from making this a consistent daily practice. And finally, some important post-walk care. Especially during dry seasons, you've got to wash your feet thoroughly and apply a good amount of moisturizing cream to prevent your heels from cracking.
So really, the message here is an invitation to reconnect with Mother Earth's life circuit. Whether it's on the grass in a park, sand at the beach, or just in your own backyard, taking off your shoes and walking could be the beginning of an incredible healing journey for your body. It's definitely something worth exploring for yourself.
And hey, if you want to learn more and connect with other people who are doing this, I highly recommend joining the National Barefoot Walking Movement headquarters on Neighbor Cafe. It's a great place to share information and be part of a supportive community.
And finally, if you found this information helpful today, we'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications. It really helps us keep bringing you these explainers. Thank you so much for your time.